Good day. Today I'll be navigating this session.
Hi, my name is Ulrich. I'll be the navigator of the session.
Alright, cool. I'm gonna be discussing chapter 13, setting up a MongoDB database. So, firstly, what is MongoDB? MongoDB is a popular open source NoSQL document database designed for storing and managing large amounts of structured, semi-structured, and unstructured data. So it uses document-oriented approach, storing data in JSON-like documents rather than tables and rows. So it makes it well suited for modern applications where data structures can be dynamic. So basically, MongoDB basically uses documents instead of tables, so they can be flexible and you can use it for your applications. Like it uses JSON documents basically. So I have installed it. I've downloaded MongoDB. I've installed it. I've got the shell working, the Mongo shell working, as well as the Mongo server running. Um, and set up my database as well and got it working. Um, and yeah, just loading data onto that database as well. As you can see here in Mongo Compass, this is where database is created. So you can see the database is there, and within my code, I can I can insert data in document format with or into my databases. So let's see how that's done within my code. So in my main.js over here, um, in order to basically um, like write code to insert data into my database and connect the server to the database and get that working. Firstly, I've imported MongoDB over here. Then I have set the URL, which is basically 27017. As you can see, localhost 27017 is basically what the database will be running on. So that's the database URL. Then the database name is recipe database. So here you create the name, which is recipe database. As you can see here, recipe database is over there. Then over here, I am connecting the MongoDB and using connect function. Within it here, there's a callback function as well here, which has error and client as parameters. But this callback function is saying if there's an error, then I'll throw the error. But basically, if there isn't, then there's this variable, right, where the database is basically created, and it has the database name within this variable. That database name is recipe DB. So right now that I have the database created, basically, yeah, it's connected and I've created it. So basically now I can insert data within my database recipe DB. So in order to insert data, the data comes in the form of a document, right? So here I have DB, which is the database, then collection. Collection basically represents the document, right? So we're gonna put the document within our collection. and that collection is in our database. So the document is context, right? So firstly, when we do that, now we can insert it in our database. So using insert, I set basically the name and email and input the values attached to those keys, right? This is basically what will be inserted um, in my contacts document. That context document will obviously be within my database while using insert. So so basically here there's a callback function, right? Where basically if that's insert in well if that insert doesn't work, then it will throw an error. But if it does, then it will log that database as it is. So that's basically how the insert works. Essentially it works the same over here as well. So first creating that document over here within a collection that's in our database, and then inserting that document, um, inserting that the values within my document context. Um, the same here, inserting my document within, inserting my data within my document pets over here. So let's basically see how that works, right? So I'm gonna run my server. So you can see here this is logged. It logs the values over there, and now that I've run my server, refresh, I can see here because I used insert. Now I have my document context. Then my document, there's the values over here, right? So it's my database, then my database, my collection, and my documents here, and the values. So you can see here the name and the email over there, as well as here name and email, right? That's because I've used the insert method. Insert the name Jada and the email over here. Then over here, inserting the name Tom and the email over here. And before doing that, using db.collection to have my to set my document context over there. And then also here I've inserted while I've made this document pet, and I've inserted the values within that document. So you can see here, here's the document pet, and then the values are within that document over here. So you can see species and this cuteness over here. So that's how I insert data within my database, and how I set up my my documents within my database so that it has that data. So just to see how it works, basically, you can see here database.collection. Let's do this. So let's create a new document, which basically where we can insert data within that document, essentially. So we can say footballers, and then using insert, we're gonna set a new key over here, and another key. So I've used insert to insert new data within the document footballers, which is in my database. So after running the server, that insert method is gonna work essentially. And when I refresh, let's see. That new document should be uploaded to my database over here. So now I have that document with those values or that data being inserted in the database over here. So yeah, that's basically a summary of lesson 13, setting up the MongoDB database and inserting data using the insert method over here, creating the documents as well in our database.